Hey everyone, it's Amber, and I have a bonus video for you on one of my favorite mantras. I've got a few of them. This is one of my favorite that really helped to give me freedom around saving all of my calories for one meal. So going all day long, counting calories, restricting calories, feeling like I'd done a really good job. So then when I got home from work and I would start to eat, I'd be thinking, oh, I really didn't eat much today, so this is probably okay. But before I knew it, I couldn't stop. And this really is what kind of propelled me into my battle with bulimia, where I was binging and purging almost every night, and I was doing this in secret. There was a lot of shame around it. It was a lot of secrecy. There was a lot of isolation, and it was an awful, awful season of my life. So as I started to embrace eating, every 2 to 3 hours and fueling my body, I started realizing that staying out of the extremes of being starved and then trying to control what you eat, or eating too much and then being stuffed and feeling horrible about yourself. When you don't live in those extremes, you live in this lane of just, I don't know, just balance, right? You're not really starved, you're not really stuffed, and you're using food for the purpose that it's meant for. So one of the things that I've had to embrace is that every time I eat does not have to be a party. Because when I was binging, it was a party. I would think all day about what I was going to eat. And I wanted to eat things that were sweet and salty. And it was kind of like this thing that I did every day. And again, secret, shame, guilt, not good, horrible for my health. But it was just a weird relationship that I think some of you can relate to. So when I got onto my healthy journey, and still today, I have to remind myself every time I eat does not have to be a party. Now, there are definitely moments, but it's so interesting because those moments aren't necessarily eating a pizza and having a glass of wine and having chocolate cake. I wish I could tell you that I crave those things, and I used to. Don't get me wrong, those were my go-tos, but it's just different now. It's different. If I spend time to make a really healthy food, like a beautiful fillet of salmon and roasted asparagus, with olive oil and a little bit of sea salt, that to me is a party. That to me is something that maybe took a little more time than what I'm going to show you that I'm doing right now. So it does look different, but I love that every time you eat doesn't have to be a party. Some of you are telling, oh, I just don't like breakfast. It's so boring. My toast is done. I'm going to tell you about my toast in a minute. It's so boring. I'm just eating the same thing. Guys, that's a mindset. That is lies coming into your head telling you oh, this is boring. Oh, this is what you're going to have to do forever. Oh, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay? I eat no-cook oatmeal and a green smoothie in the morning because it gives my body nutrition. It's super, super fast to make, and it tastes good. It does. Now, it may not be like going through Starbucks or going through a drive-through and getting a Egg McMuffin, but you got to train your mind. There's a price to pay when you go through fast food and you get that kind of breakfast. In the moment, it may taste amazing. It may be exactly what you were craving. But then what? You're pooping in the bathroom all day long. You're in a bad mood because you're like, man, it's not even 8 o'clock and I already blew it. You think about the grease and the whatever it is. You have a headache. Whatever those side effects are, there's always a consequence, guys. With healthy eating, it's awesome because it can taste good in the moment, and you're going to feel good about yourself in the moments to come. So every time you eat doesn't have to be a party means that you can have staples that just work for you. And then when you have an opportunity to whoop it up a little bit, maybe have some indulgences, you just make that decision from a controlled place. Not from an out of control place where the food's controlling you, but from a place where you go, you know what, I'm going to make this decision. I'm going to have a couple bites of this cake, and I'm going to eat it slow, and I'm going to let it sit in my mouth, and I'm going to have a cup of coffee with it, and I'm just going to enjoy it. As opposed to, oh, I'm eating 2 pieces of cake, and you're filling something. When we're eating like that, we're filling a void that cannot be filled with food. The void always comes back. And you guys know this. So we have to start speaking our truth. God wants us to speak the truth. So when the lies come in, we go, no, that's a lie. I'm not going to believe that. And we dismiss it and we talk about our truth. So I'm going to give you one of my every time you eat doesn't have to be a party, but I love this. So it's kind of like a catch-22 because it kind of is a party, but it's maybe just a smaller party, maybe not like a huge party. So I know some of you can't do eggs, and it's okay. Just because you can't do eggs does not mean that you can't eat clean. But I like to do just 2 scrambled eggs. Then I have a piece of toast, okay? And I have a hard time being celiac finding whole grain gluten-free toast, but there are great brands like Ezekiel bread is awesome if you don't have a gluten issue. There's also Dave's Killer bread, which would be one step down because it does have some processed flour. It also can have some sugars added to it, but overall it's going to be better than just your plain milk. So I've got, or plain milk, plain bread. So I've got this piece of toast. Then I take a half of avocado with a little bit of minced garlic. You could do it fresh, but I just have it in my little shaker. Then I do a little bit of sea salt, so just a sprinkle, and then a little bit of cracked black pepper. Oh, this is so good. And then I stir it up. Oh, it smells so good. And then I smear it on the bread. And that, my friends, is a lunch that could also sometimes be a snack depending on how much I ate for breakfast if I did like a workout. This is also a super easy quick dinner if you're just preparing it for you or just you and your husband. And this is something that the kids can make for themselves as well. So a half of avocado, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of sea salt, a little bit of cracked black pepper, and then you just put it right on your toast. And then however you like, some people like to put their eggs on top of the toast then. But look at this heaping pile of yumminess. So to me, this is a party that only lasted, because it only took me like less than 5 minutes to do. So this was a 5-minute party, but I just might like take 15 minutes to eat this because then the party lasts longer. But this is just a really quick example of a staple. Something that you always have avocado available. You always have, and if you have sprouted grain, whole grain bread, you could store it in the freezer so it lasts longer. Just pull out a frozen piece and put it in the toaster. Be totally good because sprouted grain bread can go bad. You need to keep it in the refrigerator or the freezer. And then have eggs on hand. So those are all just staples that you buy every day or buy every week at the grocery store. And then you always know that this can be an option for you. This can absolutely be an option for you. So I hope that helps. Every time you eat doesn't have to be a party. Every time you eat doesn't have to be about letting your hair down and, gorging yourself and just absolutely being out of control. We have freedom, right? When we're in control, when we use our willpower, when we use self-control, when we put good things into our mind, when we negate the lies that come in from all different types of places, things that we've heard in the past, things that people told us. Okay, we know our truth. We know our truth. And we know that this is totally great for us. It doesn't have to be super exciting every time we eat it, but it serves us and it serves our body. And then because it serves our body, your whole life can be a party, guys. I think my life's a party because I can do whatever I want to do and I'm not limited by energy. I'm not limited by pain. I'm not limited by headaches or fatigue or brain fog. Like I have no bounds. So my life is a party because I don't make food the source of where I get my party from. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay. So just a little bonus video, just a little thing to kind of pick you up. Those of you that are trying to rewrite some of the things that are in your head, you got this. I believe in you. I love you. And I will see you on the next video.